Isn't? Come on. Share at least. So here we are, it's again Thursday night, again. Here we are at our favorite place. And it's live, so it must be another free education event put on by the Worcester Tea Party. Now, we have had a little glitch. I don't know exactly why, but Mr. Robert is not in attendance. We've tried to give him as much time as is humanly possible. But we have a superabundancy of talent with us tonight. We have people from the West Coast who want to talk to us, thank God.
West Coast? Wow.
So, without further ado, I will introduce Senior Fellow of the Worcester Tea Party, Ken Mandiel, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right, thank you. Now, before we get into our speaker, I'm going to have Mr. John Weston, professional radio announcer, give us an insight into an activity that he's promoting.
Okay, it was probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago, I mentioned to this group that Trevor Loudon was going to have me go out on the road and kind of be
All right, now we have with us Pete. He's a friend, he's a member, and he also has the unenviable job of being a corrections officer. So, if you can come on up here and tell us a little bit about how video cameras help you when you're working with the sheriff. Thank you.
Can everybody hear me? All right, I'm kind of probably a fairly unique Tea Party member that I'm a government employee. I've been a union member for a long time, although right now I'm not. I've got a management position at corrections. Just a little bit about my background. I've been in corrections for 33 plus years. Concurrently with that, I was a police officer in town for about 15. A firearms instructor for about 15 years, and with that comes training people in the use of force. I'm currently the head of the criminal investigations unit in the correctional facility I work at, but I've also done a lot of internal affairs investigations, which is looking at employee misconduct. When I started there was very little technology. I didn't even have a uniform the first day I started there. One of the biggest places where officers got hurt is doing what's called cell extraction. And that's when you've got to take an inmate out of his cell that doesn't want to be inmated. It's a very dangerous place to be. They've got homemade weapons. We've got nothing. And when I first started, it was you get some of the biggest guys and you go in and take care of business. Invariably, somebody got hurt, somebody went to the hospital, whether it was the inmate or an officer, because you've got 5 or 6 people in a concrete box full of stainless steel beds and toilets and sinks. Somebody gets hurt every time. We started to, I don't know if the right word is professionalize it a little bit more and started to deal with this on a more tactical nature. Where things that, helmets and meat bags and stuff so we don't get hurt. And with that came the idea that we videotape what we're doing. Because what always happens is if officers get hurt, punched, stabbed, whatever, it's our word against their word. And especially in Massachusetts, it doesn't always mean much. So back then, this was probably in the late 80s, 1990 or so, we had one officer was in with a big VHS video recorder and recorded it. And it worked very well because everybody's on notice, you're being recorded. So it helped to keep force use to a minimum. And it also, you know, when you go right up there with the inmate, he's refusing the orders and, you know, you show him attacking and he's swinging and everything else. It helped us a lot in prosecution. At first, a lot of people want nothing to do with it because it is something new and you got the spotlight on you in a very tense situation. And that was about the extent of our videotaping for a long time. Fast forward to probably about 6 years ago, they started putting fixed cameras in one half of the facility. And a few years ago now, the whole place is videotaped. And we've got, I think, 12 housing units and 15 buildings where inmates have access to. And I checked with our IT department. Any IT people here? Okay. We've got 558 video cameras recording all the time. And we've got probably 40 cells, give or take, that have a camera in them for high-risk people, so we can monitor them at all times. With those hours of recording every day. And in a month, there's about over 400,000 hours of video every day that has to be stored. Any idea how much space you need for that? Our IT guy said we're over 500 terabytes. Well, I don't know what a terabyte is.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
500 terabytes?
Yeah, over 500 terabytes. And I looked it up, and a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, if that helps anybody. And I looked it up, and a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, if that helps anybody.
Well, your standard laptop PC these days will come out with roughly 750 gigabytes to a terabyte. So that's 500 times the amount of what you find on a standard PC.
Yeah, so
That's a lot.
So, which brings me to the point that all this is nice, having the cameras, kind of knowing everything that's going on, but that comes at a cost. And I'm told our initial investment was about $2 million. It's a lot of money. And it's not the only cost either, because we just the software support is about another $20,000 a year. On top of that, if there are issues where force is used, everybody that's present has to write a report, whether you're involved in it or not. And that too helps keep force down. I'm not putting my hands on somebody unless I have to, because it's a lot of work for a lot of people. Anytime it happens, we've got to know, somebody who works for me has to go to each one of those video cameras and record it, because we've got about 30 days that video is available before it just gets wiped out. So I've got somebody that spends 15 to 20 hours every week burning discs of videos of uses of force, because our force is from the start of the incident until that person is uncuffed. There's usually one spot way down the end that they go. So if this force happened down here, there could be 20 cameras along the way for that whole trip. It's very time consuming.
And you have to manually sort of get that section of recordings.
Yes. So it's a lot of work. It's not just here's a camera and now everybody's accountable. I checked last year, we used force about 350 times. So it's almost once a day we've got force being used on someone.
How does that compare with before the cameras?
I don't know. We never kept track of it, and I just asked this the other day. But also, when I started, we had under 400 prisoners, and now we've got closer to 1,200 on a regular basis, and we've been like 1,500. So the numbers are just way up, and prisoners are getting worse. Where they used to wouldn't get into a fight in front of an officer, now they do it right in front of it. They don't care. They got to get this guy. Here's his opportunity, and I'm going to block it. So far this year, we're up to about 250. So it's probably a little bit more than last year. It can be a double-edged sword. Like I said, I spoke to our attorney, who's been there 5 or 6 years, and I asked him how often does video come into play in cases where we're being sued. And he guessed about 12 cases that we've had where videotape has exonerated our staff. And that included some where attorneys were threatening to sue, and come on, look at the video. Because a lot of times the family's getting information from other inmates. Sometimes it's a suicide. Who knows what it is? Oh, they never checked in for hours. And so the attorneys hear that and they want to now come and sue. But you can show every 20 minutes somebody's looking in that cell. And it saves us a lot of times. It is a double-edged sword because we've had staff get fired and get sent to jail and stuff. That's happened. There was one case early on where the team went in and there was a sergeant that was not on the team that worked in that housing unit. And the team was rolling around on the floor with this guy, and the sergeant sits there, the sergeant, he shuts it off. And he's like, I think I should be having this on. And he turns it back on. Well, he doesn't know it's turned back on. And he goes in and he starts stomping the guy. Nobody on the team knew it, except for the guy that was videotaping it. So our practice back then, okay, you finish up, you go to the courts, everybody looks at the video. And remember, everybody's looking at the video, and all of a sudden, there's this other guy coming in and stomping on this guy. What do you do with that? A lot of people were not happy that we charged him criminally and he ended up going to jail. But what they needed to look at, I think, is that video saved everybody on that team. Because if he's injured, guess who is getting blamed for it? The people that were going in there and using force.
That's right.
We had another case not too long ago where I opened up a letter from an inmate and he says that an officer hit him with a broomstick. The officer hit him with a broomstick. He was fired that day and prosecuted. On the other end of it, we probably have 2 or 3 criminal complaints every week that we bring to court and based on video evidence. We've taken a position where, look, it's a violent place by nature, but we're not going to let violence go on unpunished. Because if somebody does get hurt further down the road, seriously, nobody's going to look back at us and say, you guys just let this go on all the time. So it's a valuable tool. And we've got probably annually about 30 officers that get assaulted where we bring charges. We probably have that many more, even more than that never even make it to court because they go, I'm not hurt, it's not a big deal. But the evidence is there. We also had a couple other cases. One where an inmate claimed that an officer grabbed his genitals in his cell. He stuck with his story. We investigated it. We found a camera angle that could see that it never happened. This officer was placed on leave. His reputation, nobody really believes it, but now everybody's going to call him names and just make his life miserable for a while. He's the one that's going to get picked on. But we were able to get a conviction for filing a false police report on that inmate for doing that. And we had a very interesting one fairly recently where there was a special needs guy that was living in a home. I think he was 18, but he had assaulted somebody, a staff member at that home. He ended up calling the police. The police arrested him. And he's now getting sent to us. And on the way in, he's telling the officers, I can't go there, I'm from Rockford, I have to go somewhere else, I can't go there. So everyone's like, what do you do now? Well, it turns out where he'd been living, they called him. They called him she, he had a woman's name, and everything this guy wanted, he got. Well, now he's in jail, he's scared. And he gets put on a suicide watch. And we have mental health people that work there full time. They assess him, they bring him down a notch. Later that day, he says, if I stay here for the weekend, I'm gonna kill myself. Well, back on the watch he goes. Then he makes an accusation that during a strip search, an officer grabbed her by the breast. And got bailed out soon after that. So by the time we start to investigate it, he's gone. He made 2 different claims to 2 different people while he was there. As soon as he gets in the car and goes back to where he lives, the story changes even more and gets worse. So we then get a call from the administrator at this place saying, hey, this is what he's doing. We're looking into it. The next day, they end up sending him to the hospital on a rape case. He was raped. And at the hospital, they didn't know what to do because he said his vagina had been penetrated. It doesn't have one. And everybody, what do we do with this? So his guardian would not let us into those, but we couldn't go any further with that. But we did get reports from that school, which kind of laid it out pretty good. I didn't think we were going to get them, but we got them. And he told us the story of what happened at the home and at the hospital. So now I got to go back and look at video from the whole time this person was there. And I found where he was talking about. Nobody went near him. And he was very less than cooperative. You know, he was handled with kid gloves. But the place where he lives also calls another state agency and makes a complaint with them. They say another state police are coming. They want to investigate this. No, we didn't think you had. We don't have females here. And you know, they looked at our reports, and then here's the video of it happening. And you know, enough of that. So that saved us a lot of hassle. So, you know, there are downsides. The cost is a giant downside. But I think in the long run, you know, if in 5 years it saved us a dozen lawsuits, it's probably paid for itself. Sure. So that's about all I have. If anybody has any questions, fire away.
Why do you think the Boston Police Department, the patrolman union, because you never really heard from patrolmen, you heard it from the union, why they were so anti-camera? The way I look at cameras today is there's so many nut jobs out there and so many incidences like you're talking about. If I was a cop, and I know a lot of cops, and I know a lot of retired cops because I'm getting to be that age, and they said, you know, we got enough to carry, but you know what? If I was on the force, I'd want a camera and I want a camera in my cruiser shining out the windshield. Why do you think the Boston resisted this so much?
Well, just the nature of unions. It could be they want to hold up for more money. You want to give us this? We want another $1 an hour. You know, that could be a factor. And some people aren't comfortable with them. You know, do you want somebody following you with a camera? 20, you know.
Well, yeah, it's not.
Personally,
I understand.
I take it.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some hairy situations that can happen, and you know, with liability in the police, you know, that's going to be there, and the attorney's going to pick it to death. You know. So I get why people are leery of it, but.
Well, I guess, just building off that question a little bit, in your case, you're in an institution, so you actually have fixed cameras all over the place. If your officer, if your personnel had body cameras, the accusation about the incident occurring in the cell would have been immediately debunked because there would have been a camera directly on the person.
Well, we were fortunate because he was in a cell with a camera.
Oh, okay, okay.
But there's only about 40 of those cells. And that creates another problem too, because those are generally your discipline problems, your mental health problems, and they cover them up, and so you can't see in it, and they cover up their window, and you know, we just had one today where somebody covered up their window, we couldn't tell you were alive or what. The officers went in, one got bit, another one got hit.
I guess that to follow up, for the body cameras, have you heard about that being an issue, that there's that it's an impediment to them doing their job, I guess.
I'm not an expert on it, I've never worn one. I don't know, there are different styles.
Right.
There's some here, I was at a Motorola event a while back where they've got some that will go right on your lapel. It's very expensive. You know, even, any idea what a walkie-talkie costs? A basic walkie-talkie? Oh, $1,300.
An industrial strength.
Yeah, government version.
Well-
Base radio, and then you've got chargers you gotta buy and microphones and.
Well, it's one of those things when you talk, when I was mentioning the cost, or a laptop comes with a terabyte. That's for personal use. When you talk about, I work in hospital information systems, when you talk about things that are made for industrial strength where it has to be like 100% fault tolerance,
Yeah.
I can see them
And
walking
stuff has to
talking.
be waterproof.
Right.
Yep.
I was kind of surprised that you.
Industrial strength
technology
is a lot
goes
bigger
into it.
different than
Yeah.
personal use.
How much does everything weigh combined? I mean, the poor guys, they have to carry the phones and guns and all the
Well,
cameras and all the other stuff. I mean, how
That's
much
another
does that
thing.
weigh?
When you're working inside, you don't have a baton, you don't have spray, you don't have a gun.
I mean, the
you
boss
really
runs
have
it with
nothing.
the cameras and
About
all, they're
40
all
pounds.
with everything. How
And-
much?
and with-
About 40.
Especially if you're working outside with a full duty
That's rather
rig,
mean.
it's heavy.
Well,
No, I
And
don't
it's
think,
uncomfortable, you're sitting in a car, you get.
That doesn't include the
steering
vest,
wheel's
by the
there.
way.
Yeah, and the vest on top of it, there's a lot of equipment.
well,
I don't think a camera adds much.
No, but she asked
As a-
how much all the gear that they
Yeah,
wear.
full complement.
Adding a
But camera,
really-
I
Camera
mean,
would be
the camera
minuscule.
probably is a
Minuscule.
quarter of a pound, half a pound, I mean,
Yeah,
it's nothing
they're
compared
pretty
to.
small, that's, in of itself isn't, maybe finding a place to put it is.
I was just wondering if the Boston police didn't want any more weight.
Yeah, well-
That would-
So what's your opinion about these cameras, police officers, for police officers? Most recently in this country, we see a lot of guys in the black community, whether they are right or wrong, that's not what I want to talk. But usually, law enforcement, they protect the community, they protect our children, our family, and when there is a problem, we call police officers, you don't call criminals. But the fact that is, there is a lot of problems in this country because of these issues with the police. So personally, do you support that police officers should have those cameras everywhere? Do you know, just your opinion?
Yeah, and I would want, personally, it depends where you work too, if you're policing Mayberry, the odds of that, but, well, people aren't working in Mayberry.
The reason I'm gonna tell you my opinion, personal experience. I'm a community leader, I run a non-profit organization, and I help the poor people in this city for the last 9 years. But I'll tell you some incident, for example. I rent apartments on Millbury Street. So there was a Latino person which I rented an apartment. Somehow he used to deal drugs, which I have no idea, I don't have control over it. So probably the police was looking at, what they do and whatever. So one day they grab it, they have a gun, whatever. So the next time, after 2 weeks, after seeing everything, I want to rent the apartment again, and it happened to be Latino people. And I was upstairs, third floor. So just in a second, 3 police officers with like military style, they broke the house, they come in, they beat everybody up, including me. Right? So this is how it is. So the other Latino guys, they say, well, he's a community leader, he's the president. They use a lot of language. I can understand that. So this is fact. So the city manager, the mayor, including the police chief, the current chief, they spoke to me, I sat down, and this is what I like to do. I was in hospital and my ear was black. But this is what I want to do as an individual, as a citizen, as a minority. I don't want to sue the police because When I have a problem, I call police. So the decision I made that time was, look, I can understand these people came in thinking the previous guy has a gun. So I can understand. If I was a police too, probably I could have killed them, right? But the fact that is, this world, we have to understand there are good cops, bad cops, bad people, good people. So we want to protect the cops from criminals. So it is much better for cops to defend themselves. They should have a camera. So we don't see, nowadays we talk about ISIS, we talk about terrorists. In this country, cops are dying. In this country, minorities are dying. So we are each other keeper. I'm your keeper. You are my keeper. So we have to keep our police safe and the community safe. So I agree with you that the police officers should have a camera to defend themselves and all the time. That's where I stand on issues.
It's just so good. I'm speaking on behalf of me, not anybody I may or may not work with. Just me.
How do the judges treat criminal on criminal assault charges? Number one, A, and B, we have a hanging judge that gets the message through and then becomes a deterrent, or is it, we have the fair kind of judges we also have that wouldn't be so much of a deterrent? So,
It's, generally assault and batteries aren't a really serious crime in the courts in general. And when it happened in a correctional facility, I think a lot of people say, hey, don't go to jail. Right? And, we go through almost, we do what we think we should be doing, and what happens in the courthouse happens in the courthouse. You can't, we make or break a day based on what happens out of there. You'll be disappointed more times than not.
Do you still use, the old-fashioned giant camera was an impressive artifact. And I would think with the big, cameras now are tiny, but having the spotlight on people, having them know that you have a camera, that would be something that I would think would be a deterrent. Do you still use that as sort of
Yes, on
theater?
those, well, not really, it's more than theater. It's a good documentation because most of our cells don't have a camera in it. So most of our cameras don't see inside the cell, or they only do a little bit. So you don't post one on this one. Still to this day, we've got some of these nice little cameras that's right on top of it.
Not relates to the weight of the equipment, but no, how long does it take to get all decked out? And how much time is being getting the camera all figured out and all plugged in and working?
I think once you know how to use it, it's just a matter of clipping it out.
Oh.
There's going to be a learning curve to it, but one of the other things with that is the storage of the camera itself. How long does the battery last? In my portable radio, the battery lasts between 10 and 12 hours. If you're working a double shift, it's not going to be working. Now do I need to go back to the station and download this? There's a lot of logistical things that will need to be worked out. And the bigger the department, the bigger the problems. Do you trust, okay, I'm late, I'm going somewhere right after work, I'm in a hurry and I forget to download it. And then the next day I put it on and I'm overwriting something. There's a lot of things that can happen. So now do you want to dedicate how many staff members to make sure that at the end of every shift, everything's getting downloaded? It's more work than what you think, but I think it's worth it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.